Hi, everybody. It's Rhoda from Cigar City Tarot. Welcome to day 14 of the 31 Days of Tarot challenge by Ethony. Today, we're going to talk about oracle decks that I want to work more with in 2022. And it's interesting because one of the decks that I really want to work with won't even come out until March. And that I'll just mention it here. It is the Seasons of the Witch Beltane. I do have both the Yule, which is one that I am going to cover, as well as a Samhain. So let's get started. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And if you're following Ethony's challenge and you want to see what other readers are talking about in the particular day, then it's hashtag 31 Days of Tarot, all one word. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to put these off to the side and let's talk about Moonology. So a friend of mine gifted this to me for my birthday / Christmas. I love Moonology. I love Yasmin Boland. I think I mentioned this on day one is what did the new year or the Christmas season, what did the Christmas season goodies gave me? And this was one of them. And I have not, I've looked at it and I felt the cards and it has a really good feeling. I work with the regular Moonology deck. And so it is wonderful. I also have the Moonology book, which really doesn't have anything to do, well, doesn't have a lot to do with the cards themselves, but more different ideas about the moon and whatnot and traditions. So I am looking forward to getting into this book and into the deck. Much like her regular Moonology, this has a beautiful, I covered this before, but it has a beautiful guidebook about what each of the cards mean, so that if, as you read through it and whatnot, you also read it with intuition. But what's cool about it, it's all about manifestation, whether you're manifesting during the new moon or you are getting ready through the different phases. Or you're seeing how you're doing. There is a full moon coming up on Martin Luther King Day here in the United States, or January 17th. So I may just pull this deck out and try it for that. Probably will pull my regular Moonology out, but this deck I definitely want to work with more in 2022. I love the colors of this deck. So they're greens and purples, and just like the other deck, same size. And, so there's Sagittarius. This is new moon in Sagittarius, focusing on the positive. I am a Sagittarian and I can be called Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm on a good day or even on a bad day, I suppose. But anyway, it just, gives you a couple of words, just like in the Moonology deck. So that your intuition can come through, but certainly the book itself talks a little bit more about what this means and the symbolism. So if you're learning astrology or you're really not sure about the characteristics of the particular signs like Sagittarius, she does go through a little bit of that in the book. So that is the first deck or oracle deck that I want to work more with in 2022. All right. The next one is one that I purchased when I first learned about. I've been into tarot for a long time, walked away from it for a long time. And then the tarot came calling back for me in 2020. So I went ahead and, this is a little too much. This is a dark purple velvet. This is my reading cloth for this particular deck, as well as its little holder. This particular deck is the Shamanic Healing Oracle. It's really cool. I started working with it in late 2020, early 2021, and then stopped for whatever reason. I think that was about the time I started taking the Dusty White series and was focusing more on the tarot. I love this, got gilded edges on it. Oh, beautiful gold. See how it shines. Anyway, the book is awesome. It is very, it gives you small color pictures of it. It gives you some good, background information, about each card. I find this deck, when I did work with it a little bit, the first part of last year, very, and this is the deck itself. So it says Shamanic Healing Oracle, right? I found it to be pretty intuitive. So for instance, and it's got some really cute pictures on it. This is discernment. And it's all about this little bird and where he is. But, she, of course, as you go through, I look at try to understand, oh no, I see a boo-boo on my deck. How did that happen? Oh no. Anyway, so I didn't notice that, but I'll have to fix that. Anyway, there are other, I'll go through just a few of these. They should all be in an upright. They are. So this one, for instance, is the number 34. It is the ancient wisdom. And again, if you take a look at that, to me, those look like birch trees, and birch trees or aspens, maybe even, they stretch up above the heavens. You can't even look up there and see their branches where the leaves are. They're so high. And so anyway, this is the psychic development. So you have a swan, and if you know the story of the ugly duckling that nobody wanted or nobody loved, and grew into a beautiful swan, and found their place. I feel like this is me in some ways. It's like, for a long time, I didn't do a lot with this, but as I've started down this journey again, I felt that, oops, sorry about the focusing here. I don't know what it's doing. That I'm going from a ugly duckling into a swan as I'm working. And I have pulled this card for myself a couple of times. We'll just go through a couple more. I love the symbolism in this one. This one is about the inner journey. And these are these are rune, I believe, and the rune for ride hoe. I always call myself Rhoda Ride Hoe or something. But anyway, it's all of the different parts of you. But it's a great deck. It's very, I love the coloring and stuff. This is perception. So the yin and the yang, depending on what viewpoint or what direction you're looking at something, it's all about the perception. Below, above, not always the same thing, whether you're in a good mood or you're seeing the light side or the dark side. It's all about your position and perception. And again, I'll just go through some of this. This is sacred space. To me, that looks like an earring I once made. I don't know why, but anyway, the inner space and how you get there, like a nautilus shell. You dig down to really get to that inner part of you. Duality, right? Bright and dark. So the white and the black bird, you have your good days and your bad days, your bright days and your dark days. Anyway, this is a deck that I will be working more with this year. Again, the Shamanic Healing Oracle. I will just move this over here. Talked about this in one of the goodies that I got, I believe in the decks I got in 2020. I found out about these from a friend of mine, and I bought the Samhain, then I bought the Yule, but this is the Seasons of the Witch. Oh, I just love that. Beautiful. I'm just all into the bling here. Yule Oracle, right? So I'll be working more with this, not just at Christmas time. I did a few readings over the Yule tide season as well as into Christmas. Not so much since then, but again, to me, it's I think I did a reading on myself, very intuitive. And I'll confess, I went back into the book to see whether or not I was getting the right sense. And I was surprised that I did. So, I love the cardinals. We have cardinals in our backyard, and I just love to hear them chirp, and the male and the female, and they come to eat in my husband's bird seed feeder, which I need to get a new one. But anyway, so cardinal medicine, right? And so merriment, mistletoe, again, very focused on the Yule. It's starting to be you know, would love to pair this one up with the Hermit and do, you know, a meditation reflection, right? Anyway, so this is the Yule, Seasons of the Witch Yule. And it's in, you know, oh, I didn't pull out the little book. Yes. So the little book, and it has the pictures and it has information. Just beautiful. I love this deck. I love the feel of this deck. This deck is so much more gentle than the Samhain. I have had, this is one of my favorite Oracle decks, and I have had this for over a year now. So when I first got back into this, I thought, well, I'll just go and watch some people on YouTube, some readers on YouTube and whatnot. I'll just see. And I found 2 readers immediately from Australia that I still to this day will follow. The Revealing Light, her name is Marianne. She's in Australia and she uses tarot. And she also does Oracle. Most of these guys that I started following all did political tarot. They've kind of changed since I've been following them now for about 18 months. So it's moved more towards, you know, still a lot of them do political tarot, but some have changed the way that they are doing their channel, likely due to viewer recommendations. You know, a lot of them ask, what do you want to see? Some have gone away from their traditional reading style, where they're doing now more 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of a full Celtic cross or an adapted, you know, spread. But anyway, I saw her and she had already put out her Revealing Light Oracle. And it's interesting. It's not a very big book. It's like a quad fold. She talks about the elements, which has to do with the chakras. She talks about the elements. So you have the chakra in the right here. Oops, right here. You have there's a spread you can do. She talks about earth, air, fire, water, the ether. And then she talks about some astrology and numerology. So what she's done, again, and this is a very, very high level meaning. And she does a walkthrough where she goes through each card meeting. It's like she does her own walkthrough and gives you, you know, her perception. But she worked with putting it together, I guess, a couple years ago. Anyway, she had quit selling them and I reached out to her and she started making them available again. And I just love the colors, the pinks and the purples and the, you know, the reds and everything. But anyway, so on each card, so she reached out to me and said that she was going to be making some more available again. Oh, it was Marianne Weston, right there it is. So it's 2020. I think I got them in, I saw them in early 2020. And I think by the time she was letting them out again, it was probably summertime, the meanings and whatnot, walking from one, I believe it goes up to 26. Let me see, up to 40. So there are 40 cards in this deck, but how she works. Okay. And so here is the card itself, and you can see that she's got the number. She has the planetary, the astrology. She has the element here. And then this is the card meaning itself. So this one is, for instance, resilience. Even during the darkest storm, there is illumination within. Be your own guiding light, never give up. And so I was doing the reading for myself. Actually, I was pulling a card every day for a month. I kind of stopped all that in March as I was taking different classes and whatnot, but really want to get back into it. I still do listen to Marianne quite often. It's really interesting. I just love her voice and stuff. She doesn't use the Oracle as much. Now, I admit that I'm not watching it as every day or as much as I was. She'll go through many decks. Some of the decks, I'm not even sure. I might have the Shamanic one. I might have even seen from her. But I got her deck. It has such a nice feeling. There's life force. But you can see, so that's card number 38. There's the planetary symbol for the astrology and the element. Anyway, and so each of these, you know, have a wonderful message. Anyway, I will link her video on where she talks about these and she goes through them. And so it took about 3 weeks to get them from Australia, but it was well worth the wait. I love this deck, so we'll be working with it more this year. All right. Thank you very much for listening. If you found this helpful, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already done that. If you're following Ethony's challenge, remember it's hashtag 31 days of tarot. I'll leave the link in the description below, and we will see you on day 15. Have a great day.